Access Fort Wayne offers reflections of our community. Production facilities provided by Access Fort Wayne are a service of the Allen County Public Library. The views and opinions expressed do not necessarily represent those of Access Fort Wayne, the Allen County Public Library, or any other supporting organizations. For more information about creating your own television program with Access Fort Wayne, call 421-1250.
Hello and welcome to the American Veteran. I'm Dale Parrish, your host. Carl Fowler is the co-host, and sitting in with us is Jack Hannigan, also a member of the Korean War Veterans Association. Our guest today is Matt Plum. He was on a previous program talking about his experience in Iraq. This program will be talking about the D.A.V, that he's commander of Chapter 40 here in Fort Wayne. Welcome to the show, Matt.
Thank you.
Welcome, Matt.
Thank you.
Welcome, Matt.
Thank you.
Where's the D.A.V meet?
The D.A.V meets on the first Saturday of the month, usually in the auditorium at the VA hospital at noon. And what happens is we have our meetings there. And members, any member who is a Chapter 40 member, or a member who wants to transfer to our chapter, can come and fill out the paperwork and transfer or become a member. The way you become a member is you have to be a service-connected disabled veteran of 0% or higher. You do not have to be 100% to be in the D.A.V.
Does PS post-traumatic stress, does that count as a disability?
Yes, it does. I am at 70% for my disability for PTSD. My combined rating is 100% permanent and total. What I do is then I help veterans get their service connection packet put together. I introduce them to a veteran service officer who will help them with their claim. After that, then I help them get enrolled in the VA healthcare system, help them get their veterans ID card, help them get their paperwork started for that. And then once they receive a service-connected disability rating of 0% or higher, then we get them involved in what's called Chapter 31 VOC Rehab, educational benefits. So then they can go to college for 4 years. So we definitely want the veteran to take advantage of the programs that are out there. The D.A.V is there to help support them and whenever we can. We do organizations organizations here in the community that help the veterans and their families out. Associated churches, they help out a lot. And the D.A.V tries to step in and go and get in contact with different organizations within the community, businesses and such, to generate donations to give to the local veterans here that are struggling.
I think there's a lot of veterans out there who don't know where to turn to for help.
Yeah. We have a Facebook page that we had set up. It's Disabled American Veterans, Chapter 40 of Allen County. We can get contact information through Facebook. You can go to our local DAV.org site and you can contact us through that. Or you can just come to the meeting on the first Saturday of the month at noon at the auditorium at the VA hospital off of Lake Avenue. We encourage the veteran to show up and bring their DD-214 to show that they are a veteran, and if they have their service connection disability packet, or if they need their packet put together, that we can help them with that.
Great. Mm-hmm. How many members do you have out there now?
We have over 300.
Is there?
But with those high numbers, there are a lot of World War II and Korean War veterans, and they seem to be dying off pretty at an alarming rate. So we're trying to get the younger generation, the younger blooded veterans from Vietnam and Gulf War and Iraq and Afghanistan to come in and engage in the system.
Sure.
Probably is pretty tough for a lot of them to meet at noon if they're employed.
Yep. And if they can make it once, that'd be great. If they just need to drop off some contact information, we have a public relations officer, and his job is to go out in the community and generate awareness that our organization does exist. We're a national nonprofit organization. We were started back in World War II.
Right.
And from there, we grew to be a larger national organization that has hundreds of thousands of members now. So we are out there in the community doing things in the community, and that's our goal and our major focus.
Okay.
May I interject that years ago we had two D.A.V. chapters here in Fort Wayne.
Oh, was there?
D.A.V. Chapter 1 down on Kinsmore and D.A.V. Chapter 40 down on Main Street. So they are old chapters. Unfortunately, the older generation passed away and D.A.V. Chapter 1 lost their charter. And about 2000, 2002, the remaining veterans that was disabled joined Chapter 40. And that's why the number is 300 plus, because there are some old numbers.
It's a combination then.
Right.
Yes.
In 2007, I met this young man. He came into one of the meetings. He was gung-ho. He said he wanted to join the organization. And he's seen right away, I believe, I'm not trying to put words in his mouth, but I think he's seen right away that there was a little bit of controversy between us old guys. We like to talk a lot and not really maintain business. And we got off the subjects. So from 2007 to our present time, this gentleman worked through the chairs. He's now a commander. I have a high regard for him because we were getting 8 or 10 people at a meeting, I think, back then, and we just couldn't make a quota.
Yeah.
So instead of meeting every month, we met every quarter. And through Matt's efforts and his staff's efforts, he is now consolidated it, and it's a growing organization. One thing that I think that sometimes we think of veterans organizations, we think of, I'm going to say like Post 499 or 857. Well, we go back there, we have a bar, we drink, we talk of the old days. Well, D.A.V. Chapter 40 has no home bar, no home club. As he said, we meet at the VA. They've been very out with that. And I think with some of the publicity that his chairman is doing, I think we're going to see a growth here, Matt, in the next year of really going out and reaching and touching other disabled vets that don't even know that this chapter exists. So it has been in Fort Wayne for a long time, and I'm sure through Matt's staff that it will grow in the future.
Is there a phone number that any listener can call to get more information from you, or
Yeah.
first-hand information?
You can call 260-494-9684. That's my personal cell phone number. I'll be more than happy to answer any questions that you have. If it's just you want to know more about the organization, how to join, how to donate, you can make checks payable to the D.A.V. Chapter 40 and send them to 4856 Dwight Drive, Fort Wayne, Indiana 46835. You can basically come to the meetings, introduce yourself as a visitor, and we'll welcome you in, and we'll take you from there and try and get you service connected. We'll work on your packet, work on getting you enrolled in the VA healthcare system so we can get you some medications and start getting you some stuff for a little bit cheaper than price than you're paying. We're here to save you money. We're here to make sure that you're getting all the benefits that are there for you. In 2008, a lot of things have changed. There's the Agent Orange has changed. The rating for Agent Orange has changed. The rating for traumatic brain injury has changed. The PTSD rating has changed. There are tendinitis, gastro-reflux disease. All those are service connectable. Any type of knee or joint pain, knee injury, arm injury, elbow injury, shoulder injury, back injury, if they happen due to military service, doesn't matter if it's a pre-existing injury or not from football, when you went to high school, when you signed that line and said, I do, that is now the military's responsibility to take full responsibility of any injuries that you may sustain or re-aggravate while you're in your duty of service.
Mm-hmm.
There's a national office somewhere, isn't there?
Cincinnati, Ohio.
Cincinnati. Okay. And how many chapters you think there is around the country?
Oh, there's over 100,000.
Is there? Wow. Yeah.
It's a big organization.
Yeah. All of them's basically the same purpose.
Same purpose, same outline, same guidelines, same bylaws. We go in every meeting. We go in saying, okay, what can we do to better ourselves, better the organization, and help outreach the veteran and their families?
Mm-hmm.
Is there something that we can do to impact their lives, to make their lives a little easier, a little better? Maybe it just be for Christmas. Maybe it just be to pay a house payment for them. Something that they're struggling with, that we can step in and say, okay, we've raised this money. This money's been donated for a specific reason. That reason is to go to the veteran and their family. Plain and simple, cut and dry. There's no little backdoor hidden things that we want. We just basically want the veterans to be taken care of, want them to have what they need and not do without.
Yeah. I see a van running around. Belongs to the D.A.V.
Mm-hmm.
Now, is East Chapter purchase that van, or is it?
Yeah. What happens is we go through and we raise money throughout the year, and then what happens is when it's in time for service to be, the van goes. Last time we started this, the van had 316,000 miles on it.
Wow. Yeah. A lot of trips to Indianapolis and Marion, I'll bet.
Yes, and Ann Arbor, Michigan, and all over the place. And what happens is those vans, after they reach a certain amount of miles, they become out of service. So then what we have to do is we have to then save up at least $17,000. And then what happens from the $17,000 is we put it into what's called the Columbia Grant. And the Columbia Grant then writes out the rest of the money amount for the van. And then what we do is pretty much we raise the $15,000 or $17,000, and then they pay for the rest. And then we get a brand new van.
Oh.
And that's how it works.
Yeah.
And then what those vans do, those are strictly for veterans events, whether it be transporting veterans to, Marion, Indianapolis, Ann Arbor, any of the outposts that they have, the VA posts that they have, the medical centers. If it's a medical, or if it's like a parade, we'll take the VA van, the D.A.V. vans, and put them in the parade, and volunteers will walk in front of the vans and hand out American flags, and so we do that every year for Veterans Day parade. They're off Parnell. We try and do everything that we can to help the veteran, their families, and just make it better for them.
Yeah. Well, D.A.V is one organization I do donate to. 'Cause you wish you could give to all of them, but you can't.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Are there dues?
There are dues, $40 a year, or if you want to, like for me, it was $250 just to pay for a lifetime membership one time, and that's it. All I got to pay is one time. Now, what the chapter does is, when new members come in, we'll pay that $40 for the first year, and then state will match it. Now, what happens is from there is that after the $80 is put on for that veteran, then they have to pay $40 a year. So it's not that much. I mean, for as much as you get benefits, you get discounts at hotels, you get air flying discounts, you get different discounts for airline tickets, bus tickets, anything that deals with traveling. The moving, the American Airlines, American van lines for moving, they get a discount of 30%. I think it's 30%. It's either 10% or 30%. I'm not sure.
Yeah.
But there's a whole list of discounts that you can get just being a D.A.V member.
Mm-hmm. First Saturday of every month at noon.
First Saturday every month at noon. Our next meeting is November 3rd at noon at the VA hospital in the auditorium.
Well, I can't think of any more worthy people that deserve help than the disabled American veterans. You know, they put their life on the line, and you know, like you say, when you sign your name, that you become a ward of the government, and you're there to do their bidding. And if you get wounded during that service, each and every one of us owe those people. We owe them big. And,
who drives the van? Do they?
The VA.
It's a-
Oh, no. DAV office, right?
D.A.V has a transportation office at the VA hospital, and what happens is you want to volunteer to drive the vans. You become a driver. You have to go through all the volunteer services. You have to go through all the paperwork and do everything, their tests, their physicals, and everything.
Yeah.
Once you complete that, then you become part of the network, and you can become a driver. And you can be a short-term driver, which means you drive here in town and pick up veterans at their houses and bring them here to the VA hospital off Lake Avenue. Or you be a long-term driver, which is the one driver that drives to Marion or Indianapolis
I see.
and drives the veterans down there. So you have to have a good, clean driving record. Pretty much from there, it's a given. So as long as you use your common sense, and you'll do good. So
okay.
Got some more, Jack?
Yeah, the only thing I can add is from a personal aspect is I was down at the Marion VA hospital yesterday for a reevaluation. I'm a Cold War vet, but in 1967, I got out in '64, and in 1967, after talking to a D.A.V representative, I received 60% disabilities, which meant that they were all service-connected. There was an operation. I had hepatitis B when I was in Ethiopia, cold weather in Korea, and a few other things. And I just went through a reevaluation. Yesterday was the final one. So I would think that the VA is very much interested in also working with the D.A.V to help the vet. You know, the VA budget is tremendous, but if these 60% is received by the VA as a acceptance of my service-connected disabilities, then I can be awarded a pay payment for those service disabilities, and it goes from 10% to 100%. So out of the 6, if they say 3 of them are, I can receive a monetary contribution, well, then that would put me at 30%, and whatever the VA authorizes at 30%, and I could get every month for the rest of my life. The higher you go in the percentage, working with the D.A.V. and with the service officers, then the more benefit, and correct me if I'm wrong on this now, but the more benefit not only the veteran gets, but also his family gets.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, as a 0% disabled vet, I came to Indiana in 1968, and I have 7 children, and 5 of them were educated in college here, and I didn't pay a cent.
Yeah.
Because the D.A.V. and the state of Indiana has an agreement that service-connected children get free education in the state at a state college.
Oh, I see.
Yeah.
So, you know, even though I was 0%, my children got a free education.
Yeah.
That's that's one of the things you think about the benefits that I talk about. There's homestead tax credits. There's discounts on your. It's like $9 for a prescription at the VA hospital instead of paying $40 at Walmart or something.
Yeah.
You have your hearing aids, all your eyeglasses. You have 5 years. Once you get out of the service, you have 5 years of free healthcare coverage that you can use at the VA hospital. You can use. They'll check you out in dental. They'll check you out in eye. They'll give you a primary care doctor. They'll give you the medications that you need. If you're struggling with PTSD, they have the 5th floor has a mental health facility that is pretty high tech. I mean, they're there. They've got guys like O'Rourke who specialize in PTSD. They got a list of things that if you go right down the list, if you need just as little as allergy medication, they have it. They have a lot of different things for every scenario. Every person is different, and they try and tailor to each person that comes in.
I have non-service connected diabetes type 2. Well, I was blown away when I found out that I had it at my age. But it was through the D.A.V. membership that I found out that, well, you have 0%, but you still can go to the VA and get health care. And that I did in 2005. So as a result of that, they provide me free shoes with orthodontics because of my diabetes and my neuropathy in my legs. So even as a non-service, as he says, 5 years, but even as a non-service, when I went to the VA, they still said, okay, we will treat your diabetes. I'm taking glipizide, and since my neuropathy got bad, they're providing foot and insoles for me. So these are some of the things that the average person doesn't think about, the average vet doesn't think about.
Well, they don't know about it,
And that's why we have a guy that's really spearheading the disabled American vets in this community.
Yeah.
Now, what is your boundaries? You're north of...
Our boundaries, Chapter 40, is north to up to Auburn, and then we go down south past Bern. There is a D.A.V. chapter in Goshen, Plymouth. They have a D.A.V. over in Elkhart that helps spearhead over there. We pretty much right here in the central, northeastern Indiana, right here in the central part of Indiana. We kind of take care of this whole area over to Columbia City and over. So there's, different organizations that can help out, but ever since I joined the D.A.V, it's been nonstop. You know, hey, we can do this. Let's do this. Let's do it now. And immediate reaction to a situation that needs to be done.
Right.
There's always a need, and that need has always been filled by the D.A.V organization, by the donors. O'Daniel's Jeep has a Jeep Jamboree every year in October, which is coming up on Saturday. We will be doing a Jeep Jamboree, and it's a benefit for the disabled American veterans. And what happens is they have a silent auction. They have food, they have games, they have rides, they have things that you can do with your kids. You can get out, you take Jeep rides. There's pedal cars, there's rock walls, you can donate blood there. There's going to be radio stations there, news media is going to be there. We're going to be opening ceremonies at 4 o'clock, you know, and there's going to be veteran organizations that are going to be there there and have different booths for veteran organizations that you can come and get some information and hopefully get you helped out, get you taken care of.
Yeah, great. Mm-hmm. So as commander, you're probably pretty busy with the D.A.V.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, it never stops. There's always a need, there's always a veteran that's in need, and we always try and meet that need head on. And that's it. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it.
Yeah.
If we can do it, we do it.
Sure. Well, I go out there, I get my glasses there and my hearing aids and go to the doctor there, and it amazes me that you don't have to sit and wait forever.
Not anymore.
Go in there and within 5 minutes from your appointment, you're there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, the VA is changing. The times are changing. The generations are changing. The changing of the guard. There's a lot of things that the younger veterans said they put their foot down and said, you know what, this is garbage. This shouldn't be taking this long. And then we use the social media, we use the networking of the internet, Facebook, and we use that against a lot of the powers that be that thought that they could do whatever they wanted and we didn't matter. And in 2008, we showed them what we can do.
Great.
Yeah, we're familiar with what went on in the past and the way things are now. And like you say, there's been some changes made, big improvement.
Yeah. So
We're all
just
for
keep
you.
moving forward, and you know, I'm not there to leave anybody behind. I was a ranger. You know, I never leave a fallen man behind. I always pick him up and take him with me. You know, regardless of whatever it takes. You know, if he needs help, if he needs tires put on his vehicle, his family vehicle, if he needs insurance paid for, you know, a couple months, you know, if he needs just that little extra oomph to pay for groceries, pay for diapers, pay for, you know, car insurance, you know, we try and do that stuff.
Yeah.
Build, right now we have a veteran that's in need of a wheelchair ramp, and we're trying to accommodate with that. We're trying to get with other organizations that have the means to build the ramp and that we can pay for materials.
Okay.
So,
Well, Matt, would you run that phone number by us again?
it's 260-494-9684.
Okay. It's good to have you on the program, Matt.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thank you.
If you enjoyed the program, we're on every Friday night at 7:30. So remember, freedom is not free. So if you see a veteran or someone in uniform, just walk up to them, say thank you for your service. They'll appreciate it. Thank you and good night.